Are you new to CS2 and do people keep saying anti-eco, force buy and things like glass cannon and you don't know what that means? Well, keep watching this video because in this video I'll explain all the terminology you need to play CS2. Let's get into it. Hey, you there. While the video is loading, you have some time to subscribe and like the video. I would really appreciate that. Thank you and enjoy the video. The way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do it in different parts, right? So we're gonna have a part about kills, a part about tactics, a part about economics, etc. Alright? So that way you will just be able to watch the video, you will hear the words, I'll explain them to you, I'll show a clip of what it means, and that way when you play the actual game and people talk about stuff, you understand what they're saying. Just wanted to say that this guide is very focused towards new players, because if you don't know what an anti-eco is and you're playing the game, that has a big impact on your gameplay, right? So that's why I wanted to make this guide. It's very focused towards new players. So don't go in the comments and say, who doesn't know this, these are easy. Some players might not do because they're new, right? With this being said, that means that some of these are really easy for some people, but some might be really hard. So that's why I'm going to do my best to explain them to you. Alright, so let's get into the first part, terminology about kills. First one is ace. Ace, a lot of people misunderstand this actually because they think it's 5 kills. That's not an ace. An ace is when a single player kills the entire team. If a player leaves on the enemy team and you're in a 5v4 and you kill all 4 of them, you still have an ace. Another easy one, collateral, just means you get 2 kills with 1 bullet. Lit, so some might not know what lit means, and you might be playing a game when a player screams, he's lit for 70, he's lit for 98. Lit is just shorthand for being hit, so that's why a lot of people say lit 70, meaning he's hit for 70 damage. Okay, so dink. Dink is another one that's really commonly used, and this just means a headshot, right? So it's a headshot that doesn't have an insta kill. The reason people call this a dink is because of the dink sound that it makes when you hit somebody that has a helmet on. So this just means he's headshotted, but he didn't get killed. Another easy one, which you probably already know, but I still wanted to put in, is clutch. Clutch is just winning a situation in where you're the underdog or you're the last man standing, a situation that shouldn't be winnable, but you still win it, right? So for example, a 1v4 or a 2v5. Entry frag. So a lot of people might say, go and get an entry frag, or I have an entry frag. An entry frag just means that you get a kill which opens an entry to a side or an area, right? Easy to understand. You get a kill on B side, meaning you got an entry frag on B side. So the last one for kill terminology is pick. So pick really sounds like entry frag, but it's not. Pick, it means a single kill. Usually this is in isolation, right? So this is a kill that inspires a team play that shouldn't happen otherwise. For example, you're lurking in B apps and then you can say, I got a pick on B apps, we can go B. This is something else from an entry frag. An entry frag is like more at the start of the round when you get an entry into side. A pick can be whenever, right? So when 3 people are pushing behind and you kill one, you got a pick. That's not an entry frag. Okay, so next part is a pretty big part. It's about tactics. Okay, so we will start very easy. One of the most well-known tactics is camping. So camping just means that you stay in the same position for a very long time. For example, your teammate might say camp under wood, meaning you should stay under wood like for almost the whole round. Most of the time when you're camping, they also call something, for example, like bait. Bait me. Baiting. So baiting is just to lure enemy team attention away from the bomb site, or a teammate might draw attention to them so you can kill them. For example, if you're playing underwood, you're camping underwood and your teammate is on site and he says, I will bait for you, that means you shouldn't peek. He is going to bait, he's going to grab the attention of the enemy team so they run past you and you get easy kills. This one you might already know, but you hear it quite a lot and it might be hard to understand when you don't play CS or CSGO. So boost. Boost just means with assistance of another player getting to a position you shouldn't otherwise. This is just done by crouching and a player jumping on your head to then get to another position or to look over a wall that they shouldn't be able to. Some players might also call a run boost. This is basically a boost done while running. So you have two players and the one on the bottom will start running with the one on the top moving with him, and with the momentum he jumps and then he gets a further boost than he should with a normal boost. Rotate. Quick and easy one. This just means that you move between two different positions. You can call I'm rotating from B to A. You can call I'm rotating from window to B. Just moving between two positions you call I'm rotating. A split push or a split rush is a tactic where you decide to attack the bomb site from different sides. You could, for example, split push A on Mirage, go to ramp to Palace. You could split push B, you could go too short to abs. Easy. You just split and decide to take the bomb site from two different directions. Okay, so the next one, stack. Most of the time you probably hear this one being screamed, it's stack A, it's stack A. Well, so this just means that an entire team is in one place in one area. So they could like have a low buy, they might have pistols, and that's why they decide to all play on one side to catch you off guard. So push or rush. Well, it's a really easy one, but some people misunderstand what it actually means. So it just means that you push a side with an overwhelming swift attack, meaning you try to do something fast and catch the other players off guard, probably while they're holding nades or something. So when somebody calls push A, that means you go. It doesn't mean you slow walk, it means you go. So the next one, contact play or contact. Well, this one is mostly used in the context, I'm going to play contact, you should play contact. So basically, this is where you try to work your way to a side with your team without using utility, without really showing yourself. You're just going slow or something, trying to wait for the enemy to initiate the attack. So you're just waiting for them to push, get a pick, and then you go to side. You're going to side with the intention of taking it, but you're not going in fully and you're playing to get contact with the enemy, but you want them to initiate the contact. Okay, so the next one, quite similar, info play or info. This one is mostly used in the context, you should play for info, I am going to play for info. What this means is just making a play to gain information on the enemy team, their positions, their intentions, their utility, what they still have left, rather than simply trying to get a kill. So what is the difference between a contact play and an info play? A contact play is when you go to a site with the intention of taking that site and getting a kill. You're just not initiating the attack. An info play, you're going to a side, but you're just trying to gather information. You go to B, for example, banana, trying to listen what utility they have, what positions they play, but you're not going with the intention of taking the side and getting a kill. Okay, so another one that gets called quite a lot and you might not know what it means is crossfire. So when somebody says come and play crossfire at me, you have an angle where an enemy gets killed from two different directions. For example, on Inferno, this would mean you play CT and you play on side. If the enemy pushes, he gets shot from two different directions. Map control, very easy one. It's in the name. This just means how much map possession you have, how much knowledge you have about the map, what positions opponents are playing or they're not playing. And the last one for tactics terminology is post-planned. Pretty easy one. Most of the time it will be used outside of the game and not inside of the game. For example, when you're practicing with your in-game leader and he says I want to practice post-planned. Post-planned just means the positioning you take after the bomb being planted. Okay, so the next one, terminology about the economy. Okay, so the first one, well, if you want to know terminology about economy, you need to know what economy means. Economy just means the amount of money you have to buy guns or equipment. So if you have a poor economy, that means you can't buy a lot. Sometimes you might hear your teammates say, drop me an M4A1S, drop me an M4A4, but what does drop mean? So drop just means that you buy a weapon or equipment for one of your teammates and you throw it to them so they can use it. So let's talk more about the types of buys you have in the game. The first one is eco. Eco just means that you're conserving money for next round by buying cheaper weapons or buying a low amount of utility. During an eco you can still buy pistols or grenades, all that stuff, you just buy a cheaper one. Within eco also comes a full eco. A full eco is almost the same as a normal eco. You just don't buy anything in order to save the money for next round. With a full eco also comes a full buy. A full buy means when a team can and does buy full armor, good weapons, utility, you just get the full equipment. Of course you can't always full buy, so sometimes you have to half buy or an European buy. An European buy or a half buy just means that a half of your team invests money into rifles and the other half saves. Sometimes you don't have enough money to full buy and you don't want a half buy, so then you're going to force buy. A force buy is just an aggressive buy, investing the money that you have into the round and trying to surprise them, trying to win the round with all the money that you have.
Oh my god, Nico! That's not how the Deagle's meant to work!
So this is not a full buy. The difference is that a full buy, you buy all the equipment that you need, so you get armor, grenades, a good gun. With a force buy, you just buy what you can with the money. For example, you might only have armor and a FAMAS but no nades. Okay, so with an eco comes a counter strat, which is called an anti-eco. So an anti-eco basically just means when you purchase weapons that give you a lot of money because you know that the enemy team is going to play on an eco. Okay, so the next one, which some people might not know about, is the loss bonus in CS2. So loss bonus just means the money that's awarded to a losing team. So when you lose rounds in a consecutive way, like if you lose like 4 or 5 rounds in a row, you get more money based on how many rounds you have lost in a row. This goes up to 5 rounds, and from there on it's the same amount of money you get. Save, pretty easy and straightforward one. This just means that you're trying to save your gun and your equipment for next round, meaning you're trying not to die by running out the timer. So when the timer's over, the round ends, you still keep your equipment and stuff. So that is what it means to save. Your in-game leader might call, we can't take side anymore, just go and save. That means you run away and you save your gun and your equipment. Glass cannon, this one not used a lot in competitive play, but some people might still use it. Is when a player buys an AWP without armor, because he doesn't have enough money, he just buys an AWP and sacrifices not buying armor. So most of the time this is done during a force buy. Okay, that was the last one for economy terminology. Let's move on to guns and nades terminology. Okay, so the first one, anti-flash. This means that you're holding an angle and preemptively looking in a corner or looking the other way because you know that the enemy team is going to flash. So basically you're holding an angle, but you're holding it to the other side, for example, because you know the enemy will flash. You can do this with 2 players. One can play anti-flash, one can play normal. So sometimes you might go to B side and your teammate says play anti-flash. That means you look away because you know the enemy is gonna flash. When they flash, you turn around, he turns around because he's flashed, and you can kill them. Easiest way to explain it. So the next one, flash peek. Well, your teammate might call, let's do a flash peek. This means that he's going to flash and you peek right after the flash to try and get the player that's flashed killed.
Like that?
Like what?
Okay, so fake flash, it does really sound easy, but I still want to explain it. So fake flash is when you fake flashing. So for example, you could throw your pistol from behind a wall, they think you're going to flash and they turn around, you can kill them easily. Or your teammate can call, let's fake flash them. So he fakes a flash, they turn around, you do a real flash behind them because they turn around because of the fake flash, they're full blind, you can peek and you can kill them.
It's all about timing. Nitro does have a Molotov and another smoke, so it could be really rough for Simple to actually get through this. He's gonna throw the AWP in. Oh my god! Simple, what is happening?
What even is that?
That's, you can't even say that that's a fake. Just for new viewers, if anyone's not familiar with the game, sometimes you will see someone throwing their pistol to pretend it's a grenade to have people turn around. But what did he think?
Okay, so 1G. This one is kind of dying. Not a lot of people are using it anymore, but when I started playing, a lot of people used it and I didn't know what it meant. So 1G it's an easy one. It just means that you die in your own incendiary grenade or Molotov. So the reason it's called 1G is because of the clip I'm playing. A player called Summit 1G, a pro player, won the round and he walked into his own Molotov and lost the round. So I think it's a very funny one, so people should still use it. I'm trying to keep it alive, but I don't know if it will work.
Okay then.
No! What happened?
Oh no! Summit! No!
Next one, easy one. A1S or A4. It's just short for the two guns, M4A4 and M4A1S. But a lot of people don't say drop me an M4A4, they just say drop me A4, drop me A1S, right? So that's why I wanted to put it in here. So jiggle peeking is coming in and out from behind an obstacle to get information without constantly being exposed. For example, if this was a wall, my computer monitor, you would be doing this. Jiggle peeking. It's a way of getting a kill without being exposed the whole time or baiting for someone else to get a kill. You have jiggle peeking, but you also have swing, or what we would call a white peek. So a swing or white peek is just the opposite of jiggle peeking. So you're not staying close to the wall and jiggling without being exposed all the time. You just go for a full swing, you fully peek out, and you try to catch them off guard. Jump spot, easy one. You're behind an obstacle, jumping, trying to see if there's somebody from the opposing team there. You're trying to spot them. Sticking out your yat for the picture. No, I'm joking. So sticking, easy one, is just when your teammates call, stick the defuse. That means you keep defusing as a counter-terrorist. You just keep defusing without letting go.
And he taps the head. Config, he's just held it. He holds his nerve. And Bit does not challenge. What is that? Look at his health. Chaddy could have fallen to anything.
So the last one, pop flash. Well, this one probably should have been at the flashes part, but it's here now, so it can stay. So pop flash is another term for using a flashbang that pops and blinds people close to that radius. I think the easy way to explain it is that it's a flash that's used close by and not far away. That's the way it's most usedly. So if somebody says pop flash, it means they're going to flash close to them. That's how I would explain it, but if you think it has another definition, you can let me know in the comments, but because I don't really know for pop flash. Okay, we have arrived at the last part. This one is mostly used outside of the game and not inside of the game. It's roles terminology. So the first one is anchor. So anchor is a player who stays behind on a bomb site to defend it, even though his teammates are rotating. So most of the time he will stay in that position until the in-game leader says that he needs to rotate. So sometimes you might be anchoring B and you will stay there the whole round even though they're pushing A. Moving on, I was talking about in-game leader and I've talked about it a few times during this video. An in-game leader or IGL. Well, the IGL is basically just the team captain. He makes decisions during the games. He decides what the plans are for the round, all that stuff.
Through their smokes. So if my A-Ups player tells me, Alexi, they don't have any smokes on A, it's really easy for me to make a mid-game call. Okay, guys, let's fake towards B and go A. Or guys, let's just go A with our execute, whatever we have planned previously. And most likely it'll be a good call because they are running out of equipment, you know what I'm saying?
Then we move on to entry fragger. Well, entry fragger, it really sounds like entry frag. That's basically what he does. The entry fragger is the person that enters the site. He always goes first. He tries to attack the objective, the bomb site first.
Okay. Connector. The fuck was this shot?
With an anti-fragger also comes a support. A support player is a player who pushes with the anti-frag. He uses utility to provide cover, basically. So he flashes, he tries to get them into the side and tries to keep them alive. He would, for example, trade kill. Okay, so the last role is lurker. So a lurker is a player that focuses on stealth and outmaneuvering the enemies basically trying to catch them off guard. You can have a lurker on CT side and you can have a lurker on T side. I'll explain it for T side. It's pretty easy to give an example. So for example, you're playing Inferno, your whole team is pushing banana. Well, you're staying in apps trying to catch rotating players off guard, basically outmaneuvering them. You're lurking. Lurking does really sound like baiting quite a lot, but it's used at different times because there's a difference between baiting and lurking. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope this terminology guide really helps you. Now you know what these words mean, so when people tell you what to do, you understand what they're saying, and maybe you can even use the words yourself because now you know what they mean. If there's any words that you don't really understand yet or I have left out, let me know in the comments. That way I can explain them to you. I answer pretty quickly because I have no life. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Leave a like, subscribe, and just like I said in my channel trailer, from now on you're called Gingies. I will see you in the next one, Gingies. Peace.
お前はもう死んでいる。